Hi everyone, Generation Z with you again, and today with me as always Yaroslav.
Hi.
And Karine.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Disney Plus platform. Disney Plus finally launched their own app when everyone was waiting for it. Absolutely everyone. Netflix and HBO, I think, were afraid of it. But the first day of Disney Plus and the first scandal already emerged. The problem is that the viewers greeted Disney Plus with disclaimers about racist and offensive content in some older movies. Like, for example, in The Lion King, they said that hyenas could represent social minorities, and monkeys in The Jungle Book can represent black people. Do you think it is okay to reboot the old films in order to, explain to people that monkeys are not black people in The Jungle Book?
I don't know. I'm in general, I have that opinion that Disney is kind of hypocritical. So I don't trust their ethics, as I think that they don't have one. So
you do think that monkeys signify black people?
I don't think that directly, but subconsciously, I think yes.
But I mean, it's based on the book. On the book.
Authors can be racist too.
Well, I want to say that, I don't know, am I the only one? But when I was watching all of the cartoons when I was a child, I was just not caring about that at all. I was not paying attention to monkeys and their special role.
Do you have younger siblings?
No.
And I do have a younger brother.
No, I have one younger cousin.
And I have my brother, and when I watch that cartoons with him, I'm mortified. This is so horrible. I can imagine, really imagine how I end up growing up, while I was watching that cartoons. They're so, nonsense. Really.
But can you just give some examples of that? Because, to be honest, I love Disney, but I haven't been watching their cartoons for a long time, seriously. I feel like last cartoon that I have been watching was... Well, I even can't remember, even in the cinema. But maybe about dogs. Do you remember cartoon where dogs were after their owners came
Lady
to work?
Lady and the Trump?
Yeah, maybe something like that. But when I was watching all of the cartoons, I was watching cartoons when I was a super small child, I was just not caring about that. I was not paying attention to sexism, racism, and all of that stuff.
But why would Disney even put racism in their movies? It's insane. It's a global company with respect.
I feel like there's definitely racism in their cartoons.
Where? Except for examples that I named you. Where? Come on. If you're so adult and
we know
everything.
that you're a fan of Disney, but
I know I'm a fan of Disney,
but you're
and
the only one
I'm frustrated by the fact that now everyone keeps seeing racism and sexism everywhere. Come on, this is a cartoon about two dogs falling in love.
But don't you feel like, for example, cartoon about Cinderella is sexist?
Yes.
Goodness, it's a cartoon about a princess. And it's not that Disney came up with the cartoon idea.
Yeah.
It was Charles Perrault.
But
I'm sorry.
It invested in the idea.
Yeah,
somehow.
but I
it's insane.
I haven't finished.
It costs money.
I haven't finished my statement.
Yeah. Sorry.
What I wanted to say is that, of course, nowadays when all of our Generation Z watching all of that old cartoons, we see sexism, racism, and all of that stuff. But I feel like when those cartoons were drawn, right, or produced, people were living in such environment and such society where it was normal, for example, to make a cartoon about a girl who was cleaning everything around her, who was working as a slave in a big castle. And
but look, it's not only that this girl was doing that, only one was doing that, and there were rich girls who did nothing. This is a story about... I don't see the trouble because now we also have people who clean other people's houses.
Yeah, but what I want to say is that maybe it's not really correct to judge all of that old cartoons because they were produced in the era when it was normal and where it was okay not to caring about all of that stuff.
It wasn't normal, it was normalized. It was social standard.
Well, I think we were just not caring about that, especially us white people in Europe. Okay, like I feel like we were not caring
Like,
about
do you really
that.
think that when Kipling wrote the Jungle Book, he wanted to tell us that monkeys represent black people? And then Disney was like, oh yeah, he wanted to say that, so we're gonna put an emphasis on it.
This
And
is
then
how
people like-
literature works. It's not direct. It's not math.
Okay.
That's why it's literature.
It's like, you really think so? Okay, do you think that all these remakes Disney now has is partially connected to the old movies stereotypes?
Yes.
Well, yeah, maybe yes.
And don't you think that if Cinderella was so sexist, they would do some kind of power woman thing in the new remake of Cinderella?
No, it's not. I feel like you still think that doing something not sexist means doing a superwoman. It's not that. It's just
What's the okay? Then tell me.
Was okay.
Then tell me what's the difference between the cartoon Cinderella and the new remake of Cinderella?
I haven't even watched new remake of Cinderella.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm telling you, it's absolutely 100% the same.
It's like a Broadway show. It's not really like a classic Cinderella story. It's monetized.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, what about Beauty and the Beast? Is
Oh,
there
Stockholm
something-
Syndrome, my favorite. Yeah.
Yes, everything has an explanation.
Yes.
What
That's
about
how
it?
science
No,
works.
explain us. What about Beauty and the Beast?
She falls in love with the predator, with that guy who captured her father, and she has doubts, like whether she should choose the beast or her father. Something is wrong with that. Yeah.
It's bloody fairy tale. It's fairy tale.
Yeah.
It has a dramatic
The
start.
19th century.
So what? So what's wrong with it? Now we have all
Nothing.
these dramas and melodramas and love stories. Even Christmas movies are based on it. Like some girl lives in Brooklyn and then a guy comes up from Manhattan and they start blah 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 and so on and
Listen,
so forth.
Rom-coms, they have like really, really specific target audience. It's really, really specific
No, it's
circle
not.
of
Guys
girls,
also like-
valley girls.
No,
like
guys also like
dumb
rom-coms.
as
Guys
I
like
was.
rom-coms. Do you like rom-coms, Miroslav?
What is rom-com?
It's romantic comedy.
Well, you know why it's complicated for me to say, like, do I like them or not, because I can't even remember last rom-com that I have been watching. Like, I can't even name you
Pretty
one.
Woman? No. Really?
Maybe. Because, you know, the thing is that I watch everything in Russian, and because we're, like, doubling our films, and we're changing names maybe in Russian, it sounds different, and I have been watching...
Julia Roberts, Richard Gere.
No, definitely. I haven't watched it.
Oh, that's sad. You should watch
Yeah,
it.
but I watch a lot of stuff. I don't know.
It's so sexist. It's like this is the most like sexist movie I've ever seen. Yeah, Pretty
But
Woman.
like the main thing about Disney Plus is that every time when you want to watch old, like this, I would call vintage cartoon, right? They are saying to you that it may consist racist, sexist stuff.
Yes, but my question is,
feel like
where
it's
is
okay.
it? Like, where is it? Where is the sexism?
For example, like when I was reading that CNN article about Disney Plus, it was said that like maybe in Jumper, because I haven't watched Jumper, so that
Dumbo.
sorry, yeah, I have watched Jumper, but I haven't watched Dumbo. They said that like in one scene, like it was story about like monkey, right, or something
Elephant.
like that.
Yeah.
No, like, it was like a black
Monkeys
person.
were putting
was-
up the tents for the circus, and it represented black people.
Yeah, so that monkey, he was doubled by Caucasian man who was speaking with stereotypical black
Accent,
African
yeah.
accent.
Because this is true. That's how things happened in years
Yes.
when Dumbo was.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said in
But
the
it's not when
beginning
it
that
was
it's
written.
hypocritical.
The movie represents not when it was written, but in 2019, for example, we watched the film about 18th century. Is it okay to say that, okay, this movie is racist just because of that?
Yes, because Disney is literally hypocritical. They try to stay relevant in order to monetize, to profit, and they don't give...
How can a global company profit from sexism and racism in the 21st
because they have
century?
to stay relevant. Because it's in trend now to be
But
like...
if they want to be relevant, they can do some movie about being eco and the climate strike thing and the princess who jumps.
I feel they are going to do that in future.
Yeah.
But it's not the question. Is that, like, do you really believe that in the 21st century, Disney deliberately pictures racism and sexism in all their movies?
And hypocritical points that this is wrong.
No, I don't think that right now they still are doing that. But I feel like in past they definitely did that. Because it was normal. As I said, I feel like they didn't produce that cartoons because they wanted to be racist. No, I just feel like in the past it was normal to, associate monkey with black person. And
really?
I feel like it was normal. I feel like all people were, but I'm not saying that it was correct. I'm not saying that it's fine to do that. But I feel like in that times it was okay. I don't think that nowadays, if we are going to make a absolutely new story, new cartoon, we're still going to associate monkeys with black people, But in the past cartoons, I feel like, it was. And I feel like it's fine to say to audience that maybe it's not really okay to do that. And, I feel like we're judging all of the cartoons from white side, if it's possible to say that. Because we are white, so that's why,
It's insane. No, wait a moment. Disney has princesses who are black. From all over the world.
Princess.
Literally one.
Excuse me, Tiana and Moana.
One Native American and one Hawaiian girl.
Yeah. But what's the problem? They have from all over the world princesses. It's okay.
I mean, like, Disney cartoons are literally dumb right now. It's like they're unwatchable.
But it's so weird for me to listen to that because for me, Disney princesses were always the symbol of women's empowerment. They always showed how a girl can do something on her own, like Mulan,
for example. Rich prince.
No,
rich, on her own.
Did you watch Mulan?
No.
Yes, I did.
Pocahontas.
No, I just Mulan. But
So
it's
what?
like one movie out of like thousands.
It's not.
Really?
How about Rapunzel?
So
So
I haven't
she
seen,
was
like,
rich by
anything-
herself, and
anything,
Flynn didn't
like,
do
really
anything.
empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the princess.
So
Well, that means that her parents were really rich and were king. And...
No, like, did you read Rapunzel at all?
no.
Okay. How about the Snow White?
Oh, this is like
Yeah,
this
oh my
is
god,
insane.
yes. But it's like a cartoon from 60s, so I feel like, or even 40s, like it's super old cartoon.
even
so
30s. Yeah.
But what's
Yeah.
wrong with it?
Everything is wrong
Like,
with
what
it.
exactly?
Diane, are you serious? Do you seriously think that princesses
Girl in a
that
glass
are sitting in
coffin.
the castles and
What?
waiting to prince to come and
With
save
7
them,
dwarfs.
it's about women's empowerment? Do you feel like it's...
Are you kidding me? Disney princesses were never
Like,
sitting
somebody
in the
was
castle.
high,
Name
really.
me the princess who was sitting in the castle waiting for the prince doing nothing. Name me the princess.
Like, what, nothing? They wanted to save them? Like
Cinderella?
Rapunzel,
Saving
Cinderella,
from whom?
even like...
Exactly. From
Cinderella.
whom?
Cinderella worked all her life. She was despised by her family, and she did everything by her own. Yes, she
And a
married.
prince saves her, and she lives like happily ever
No,
after.
in
a
her
castle.
godmother saved her. It's not the point. The point is that name me the Disney princess who represents some sexist. I
Belle.
don't know. Belle?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Belle? The girl spoke several languages. The girl loved her family. The girl saved her prince. She didn't want to be rich. It was never her goal. What's wrong with Belle?
She chose a beast over her father. It's
Are
wrong.
you kidding me? She didn't. She ran
She
away
did.
No, she ran away to her father in the movie and in the book.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before our broadcast, I was sitting at home having my dinner and was watching my favorite series, Sex and the City. And Carrie Bradshaw
Oh my
was
God.
yes, I love it. So Carrie Bradshaw was reading a story to her like Charlotte's daughter. And she was reading that story about I can't remember Cinderella or something like that, but she ended her story with like words, and after that they lived very long happy life. And when Carrie Bradshaw closed the book, she said, "My darling, please don't think that you also are going to wait for a prince that will save you, and after that you will live happy long life, because it's not working like that in 21st
But
century."
it's not about the prince. No one said that the princes were the main thing. Moana doesn't have prince. Elsa doesn't have prince. Anna in Frozen as well. What Kristoff, he isn't a prince. Flynn isn't a prince. It was never about money and princes. Like I'm shocked that
Beautiful
people.
misogyny.
What?
What? I didn't say anything.
I just really didn't hear.
Okay, I said that this is like a subtextual misogyny. I feel like if you
Elaborate.
you don't see it, but it still exists. I don't want to classify it. So yeah.
Well, so I feel like we all have different opinions about that, and I feel like I don't know, guys. Seriously, I just don't care about Disney at all. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
that's
even
right.
haven't heard about that story before you said to me, because
But it's like the main scandal now because
I don't know,
Disney
I read
really
news
affects
all the
new
time.
generations.
I read like BBC, I read
Yes,
Deutsche Welle, and I even didn't like mention that because for me it's not important and not interesting at all. So maybe, of course, there are some people like you, Diane, who really likes Disney.
It's
so
you know where I found this news? It was all over my feed from New York Times, Washington Post, and CNN, everywhere.
I also read that stuff, but unfortunately I didn't.
I read that's like
Yeah,
that's
but
also true, but I've never seen
whatever.
anything about
So
Disney,
like
really.
maybe because some people are real fans of Disney, like fans of Marvel and all of that stuff. For them it means something, and they can like doubt,
it's just
they
not
can
relevant
discuss
to
that
us.
and all of that stuff.
Really.
But because I feel like you, Corinne, and me, we are not really into that topic, so that's why I feel like it's not really appropriate to ask our opinion, because as we can see from this discussion, maybe we just don't understand that, so that's why we
Can't
I don't know.
relate.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we can't give you what you want to hear, you know? So I feel like you guys have to also think about that. Maybe some of you are real fans of Disney, and you can come join our broadcast and say something about that. But I feel like
Okay, so for now it's all, and I hope you enjoyed this battle. Tell us what you think about it, whether Disney is sexist and racist or not, and kisses, and stay tuned.